Welcome. My name is Jaron, and today you can join Verna, Sarala, and myself as we take you on an independence journey, celebrating our rich culture, historic sites, and diverse music. Please sit back, relax, and enjoy the celebration.
Democracy means the equality of all in the eyes of the law. Democracy means equality of opportunity for all in education, in the public service, and in private employment. I repeat, and in private employment. Democracy means responsibility of the government to its citizens, the protection of the citizens from the exercise of arbitrary power and the violation of human freedom and individual rights. Democracy means freedom of worship for all and the subordination of the rights of any one race to the overriding right of the human race. Democracy means freedom of expression and assembly and organization. All that is democracy. All that is our democracy, to which I call upon all citizens to dedicate themselves on this our Independence Day. This is what I meant when I gave the nation as its slogan for all time: discipline, production, tolerance.
Before Trinidad and Tobago gained independence in 1962 and we hoisted our very own flag, we celebrated the freedom of the enslaved African people. On August 1st, 1834, in front of this very building, which many know as the Treasury, but was then the Government House, the British Governor of Trinidad, Sir George Fitzgerald Hill, read the Emancipation Proclamation to thousands of anxious enslaved Africans who had long struggled for freedom, but would still have to wait yet another 6 years. Despite the important role this building would come to play in the Trinidad and Tobago economy, the site of the Treasury holds symbolic significance to many of our nation's African descendants. It forms the backdrop of every emancipation celebration. The annual commemorative procession that commences at this location is a reminder of our resilience and stability as a people and our shared experience in its history and development. In 2020, during a global pandemic when all celebrations would take on a curtailed form, a monument to celebrate the triumph over enslavement was unveiled at the Emancipation Observance. This monument would hang on the Treasury building, a forever symbol to the power of self-worth and unity that keeps us moving forward as one people. And speaking of power, Nisha Guy brings love to our Independence Day with her rendition of Ella Andel's iconic Bring Down the Power.
Bring down the power of love, I say. Bring down the power. The power of love, I say, is the greatest power. Stop hell and damnation. Bring down the power. Love to heal a nation is the greatest power. This song is a tribute to all of the beautiful people of Trinidad and Tobago from the great mother Ella Andel. A wind of destruction is blowing over this land. And now the earth is a trembling with man's oppression of man.
Bring down the power.
Now the time come to sit down and rediscover what's life. Show the world the true meaning of real love, power, not strife.
Bring down the power.
Bring down the power of love, I say.
Bring down the power.
The power of love, I Put a hand on the fire and cleanse the wicked. Right now, all of them who does worship greed and vanity must bow.
Bring down the power.
Unity is the banner, so come together. I say, and this love is for freedom, it growing stronger each day.
Bring down the power.
Bring down the power of love, I say.
Bring down the power.
The power of love, I say. Oh Lord, stop hell and damnation.
Bring down the power.
Love to heal a nation is the greatest power. Oh Lord, yeah, yeah. So rejoice in a rhythm of celebration. Come on,
Come on.
lift your voice with a feeling of satisfaction as one.
Bring down the power.
And let me move with a purpose, all freedom lovers. Hold tight,
Hold tight.
stepping out of the darkness with one direction in sight.
Bring down the power.
Bring down the power of love, I
Bring
say.
down the power.
The power of love, I say.
greatest power.
Oh yeah, stop hell and damnation.
Bring down the power.
Love to heal a nation.
Is the greatest power.
Bring down the power of love, I say.
Bring down the power.
The power of love, I say.
Is the
Stop hell and
Bring
damnation.
down the power.
Love to heal a nation is the greatest power. Love to heal a nation is the greatest power. Love to heal a nation is the greatest power. Love to heal a nation is the greatest power. Oh yes, oh Lord. Love to heal a nation. Love to heal a nation.
After full emancipation, the islands were introduced to indentured labor, through which our brothers and sisters of East Indian heritage came to Trinidad. I take you across to Verna, who has much more to share with you.
The Naprima Bowl almost shares a twin birthday with Independence Day. In fact, the cultural soul of the South opened its doors on August 27, 1962, 4 days before we hoisted the flag of independence. Located a short distance from Independence Avenue in San Fernando, Naprima Bowl sits at Paradise Pasture, a hollow once known as the Tree. The bowl, as it's fondly called, is one of the earliest unveilings of an official arts and sport arena. However, it has facilitated from festival to funeral, allowing our people to hold and share memories of joy, achievement, rites of passage, and even sadness. The original Greek design by Mr. Keith Barkant was destroyed by fire in February 1977. In 1988, $10 million was approved by the then government for reconstruction. It boasts an orchestra pit at the base of the proscenium stage that is 32 feet deep by 50 feet wide, and the auditorium seats about 500 people. It is my pleasure to take you inside the bowl, where world-renowned musician Mangal Patisa will serenade us with his beautiful music. Today, Naparima Bowl remains one of the most resilient of performing arts facilities, showcasing the diversity of the Southland and Trinidad and Tobago.
Naparima, a name that speaks to another aspect of our heritage, namely the peoples who first walked this land and who contributed much to Trinidad and Tobago by way of place names and food. In 1897, this building behind me was a block of government offices. They were painted red to commemorate Queen Victoria's Diamond Jubilee, and so it became popularly known as the Red House. The Red House, as it stands today, has a magnificent story, significant to the first peoples as much as to our independence, and the iconic imagery of the hoisting of the red, white and black in 1962. The Red House has been the stage for many events in our history, most notably the 1990 attempted coup. Prior to this, the Red House was gutted by fire during the water riots of 1903. 16 people were killed and 42 injured. In 2011, Parliament was relocated to allow for a complete restoration of the building. During this exercise, a number of bones and artifacts were found. This was determined to belong to the first peoples and later reburied in its original burial site. Now fully restored, Parliament resides once again at the Red House, home to the seat of democracy and heritage site to the first peoples.
Hey, hey, Papa Tamushi Adayali Wachinachi, hey, hey. Creator God in the highest heaven, you have placed us upon the lowest earth, and from the lowest earth to the highest heaven, we recognize your presence, your supremacy, your power, and your might. As we have come on this sacred spot of our ancestors, this spot of the remains of our first peoples of this land of Kairi, Trinidad, we come on this spot on this day as we commemorate the birth of a nation, 58 years of our independence as a nation of Trinidad and Tobago. And as we come as the first peoples of this land of Kairi, O Creator, Tamushi Adayali Wachinachi. So as we come on this sacred spot, we come to send our prayers to you for this nation of Trinidad and Tobago. We come to seek your mercy and forgiveness for all that we might have done wrong to offend you by offending our fellow man. We come, O great God, to ask your forgiveness and for healing for our land of Kairi, Trinidad and Tobago. We ask you, O great Spirit, to look upon us at this time of this pandemic, and we ask you to bring healing to not only our nation, but to the world. O great Spirit, we pray for our nation that you will continue to bless our leaders and those you have placed in authority, so that you will inspire them and grant them the wisdom to guide this nation for the future. We pray for all those whom you have placed in public affairs to administer the affairs of this nation. Ehei, Papa Tamushi Adayali Wachinachi. You have given us these sacred herbs containing healing, containing sustenance, containing perfume. We offer ourselves through the medium of these flowers that reflect and represent all of Trinidad and Tobago, our various peoples, of many colors, of many perfumes, of many shapes, all our peoples that you have brought together in this land. May these flowers be a representation of them, of us all, as we offer to you this sacred herb. Hey, Papa Tamushi Adayali Wachinachi. You dwell in the highest heaven, you have placed us upon the lowest earth, and from the lowest earth to the highest heaven. And we ask that the guardian spirits, those of the east, those of the west, those of the north, and those of the south, bear witness to our prayer as we offer this for all who have assembled and for our nation of Trinidad and Tobago. Hey, Papa Tamushi Adayali Wachinachi, hey, receive our prayers. Sanctify this nation. Bless the four corners of this nation and all our peoples as we send our prayer from our heart to you, who dwell in the highest heaven and who have placed us on the lowest earth. And from the lowest earth to the highest heaven. And we ask the guardian spirits, those of the east, those of the west, those of the north, and those of the south, in the name of all who have assembled. And they remain. We offer this water of life, our sustenance, and we thank you for this element of water that is within us. We ask that you will continue to bless us with this water that we need for life. We also ask for you to protect us from it. O great Spirit, hear our prayer as we offer to you who dwells in the highest heaven and who have placed us upon the lowest earth and from the lowest earth to the highest heaven. And may the guardian spirits, those of the east, those of the west, those of the north, and those of the south, bear witness to our prayer. Hey,
Celebrating traditions and origins, we must recognize the first capital of Trinidad, St. Joseph, or as it was originally called, San Jose de Orunia. In the late 1500s, after his failed attempt to discover El Dorado, the city of gold, Don Antonio de Berrio y Urunia decided to establish his base in St. Joseph because it was close to the South American mainland, which he thought contained the precious metal. The beauty of St. Joseph belies its troubled past, filled with multiple fires due to conquests from the Dutch and the British. No longer the capital of Trinidad, having been replaced by Port of Spain in 1757, today, St. Joseph is a quiet residential town with some key monuments and institutions, which reflect both its history and diversity, such as the St. Joseph Convent, the Roman Catholic Church, and the Muhammad Ali Jinnah Memorial Mosque. It is no coincidence that we selected the first capital to celebrate independence through the music of the last percussive instrument of the 21st century, the steel pan, our national instrument, forged from the love of liberty and the fires of hope and prayer.
That was a beautiful rendition of the national anthem and Forward Home by Andre Tanker, done by Dane Gulston and Sons. Back in the Southland, we are taking a look at City Hall in the former borough of San Fernando. City Hall, at the corner of Harris Promenade and Penetton Street, was originally a wooden building built in 1834 and named Town Hall. Rebuilding and additions over the years to facilitate San Fernando City Council's expanding functions led to the current three-story neoclassical structure that exists today. The history of the local government administration dates back to 1845, when a town council was established and the municipality of San Fernando came into being. The city's wealth, together with a sustained level of economic activity, contributed to an increased sense of importance for San Fernando, culminating in its elevation to city status on 18th November 1988, and was referred to as the industrial capital of Trinidad and Tobago. During a speech in 2016, Prime Minister Dr. the Honorable Keith Rowley referred to San Fernando as the city of brotherly love. We now pay tribute to independence through poetic performance.
This is Tobago and Trinidad. Trinity Hills bound and gagged by the entrance of Columbus. Indigenous people kidnapped by Europe, usurped by a different strain of humanity over the years. Many a settler fighting for we, like two drunk Trinbagonians fighting over who more sober, or which country had the most bars on this earth, or a Trinbagonian and a Guyanese arguing over the semantics of the word chicken and curry. No matter how that debate switch, is still your favorite dish. One tasting this and you'd wish Trinidad was at the base of your mailing list. This is Trinbago roti, doubles, pilau. If you feel west of the lighthouse, you could have your bagels. We have many different tastes, but each one plays roles in who we are. We are Trinbago. 2 days after election is banter and social media fighting, when we realize that being a Trini is the closest thing to the second coming from this island is countless liming spots. Catch a conversation with a taxi driver about limers, or pre-COVID cruise liners queued up to touch our shores. Is like visiting Trinbago is unspoken law. Life without Trinbagonians, that is life without reason. Take a ferry and jet across to Eden. I mean Tobago, paradise restored, where even the love of God does make pigeons point to a place where you could store your troubles away. I talking about 2 bays, or take a trip down to the reef and reach the climax of your relaxation. This is Trinbago, our independent nation. Tobago and Trinidad thrilling. Dance to the possessive sound of steel drums. Drums once meant for garbage now have a platinum appearance. 1 pound to play, 1 pound to position, and the next pound to tune. Take a trip into Panorama, from Panorama to the panoramic view of the Caroni Swamp, where the national bird paints the sky and lumps it with beautiful red. You could beg immigration for extended stay, or to come back to see the glowing Ottawa or the glazed leather back. This is a place with blessing upon blessing, packed with Africans, East Indians, Asians and Caucasians. We mix them all together and created the Douglas, other known as the Earth Angel. Don't forget to respect the Venezuelans. All of this is part of who we are. Trinbago, where even aliens are given citizenship through Comadre. You see the warmth of the people, that is God's love in this country. Check the history. No place could survive with so many different breeds without love. That is why this is Trinbago, the dwelling place of God.
From south to central, from spoken word to poetry depicted in holy dance, at a mandir with an intriguing story. The Temple in the Sea is an extraordinary monument to one man's vision, determination, and strength of human spirit. The Temple in the Sea is an extraordinary monument to one man's vision, determination, and strength of human spirit. Siudas Sadhu defied his colonial masters to construct a temple in the sea in order to worship. An indentured laborer, Siudas constructed the temple in the sea at Waterloo. The original construction was torn down and he was imprisoned and fined. Many years later, in 1995, Sadhu's restored temple would be presented as a place of worship, a place of beauty and dedication, a shrine and monument to the spirit of a remarkable man. In 2007, the temple was desecrated by vandals. A number of murtis were destroyed, causing public outrage. The temple has since been restored. This Shiva Mandir that stands in Waterloo should be regarded as a symbol of nationhood, as it represents the fight for rights to chart one's course, for independence and freedom from persecution, respect for diversity and inclusion. It makes the perfect backdrop for Christian Rohit Samuel, a dancer and student of music, as he performs a Jatiswaram.
Sa ni da da pa pa ma ga ri ri sa sa ri sa pa ma da pa ma pa da sa sa ni da da pa pa ma ga ri ri sa sa ri
Dalang kudaka dhikku takka ta dhingina tum ta ku dhannaku takka dhannaku kinnaku takka takita jam ta kataku dhannaku takka dhannaku kinnaku takka takita jam te ta ku dhannaku dhannaku kinnaku jam ta jam takka dhikku kadaka dum ta jam takka dhikku kadaka dum ta jam takka dhikku kadaka dum
sa ni da da ba ba ma ga ri ri sa sa pa ma da pa ma pa da sa sa ni da da ba ba ma ga ri ri sa sa pa ma da pa ma pa da sa sa ni da da ba pa ma ga ri ri sa sa pa ma da pa ma pa da sa sa ni da da ba ba ma ga ri ri sa pa ma da pa ma pa da sa sa ni da da ba ba ma ga ri ri sa pa ma da pa ma pa da sa sa ni da da ba ba ma ga ri ri sa pa ma da pa ma pa da sa sa ni da da ba ba ma ga ri ri sa pa ma da pa ma pa da sa sa ni da da ba ba ma ga ri ri sa pa ma da pa ma pa da sa sa ni da da ba ba ma ga ri ri sa pa ma da pa ma pa da sa sa ni da da ba ba ma ga ri ri sa pa ma da pa ma pa da sa sa ni da da ba ba ma ga ri ri sa pa ma da pa ma pa da sa sa ni da da sa pa pa da ma ma pa ma ga ri ri sa pa ma da pa ma pa da sa sa ni da da ba ba ma ga ri ri sa pa ma da pa ma pa da sa sa pa pa da da sa re sa sa ni da da ba ma ga re re sa sa ni da sa re ma pa da sa sa ni da da ba ba ma ga re re sa sa re sa pa ma da ba ma pa da sa sa ni da da ba ba ma ga re re sa sa re sa pa ma da ba ma pa da sa 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 re sa pa ma da ba ma pa da sa 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 re sa pa ma da ba ma pa da sa.
Across on our sister Isle of Tobago, historically a much fought over island, we continue with poetry in motion at Fort King George. The fort is a testimony to Tobago's turbulent military past. Its design is a combination of British and French defense requirements through 1771 and 1820. The fort is located atop a hill overlooking Scarborough and the port, a great vantage point during periods of war. The museum at the fort is well worth a visit. It houses a diverse collection of artifacts that speaks to our history and independence. So beat your drum, Mr. Drummer. Oh, ha, hi.
Stop your drum, Mr. Drummer. Oh, ha, hi. Welcome all to this occasional celebration. We're celebrating independence at this diverse nation. We red, white, and black, and we ain't turning back. Discipline, tolerance, and production is what we preach. And if you're hard of hearing, we're going to beat and teach. We, the RPYC speechifiers, come to show we true patriotism, and we warning all you to forget about racism, because whether you're black, white, Chinese, or Indian, all of we are proud Trinbagonian. Beat your drum, Mr. Drummer. Stop your drum, Mr. Drummer. Oh, ha, hi. Appear, Jack Spanier. Appear, I say, to meet me, Lally Macmillan, right here. Beat your drum, Mr. Drummer. Oh, ha. Oh, ha. Oh, ha. Oh, ha. Oh, ha.
Stop your drum, Mr. Drummer. Oh, ha, hi. Greetings and salutation to one and all. We the RPYC speechifiers is here to have a ball. We celebrated 58 years of independence, but it still seems like somehow we not get sense. We begging all you, please stay home and wash all your hand, else you're gonna meet the Lord and Savior in his promised land. Beat your drum, Mr. Drummer. Oh, ha. Stop your drum, Mr. Drummer. Oh, ha, hi. Where else in the world that you know have music sweeter than our with soca and calypso? Music for make you whine, go down low and touch your toe. Carnival is indeed a euphoric experience of great historic influence. You don't know we ancestors used carnival to mock the French plantocracy. So it's up for our for continuing our legacy. So if by chance Alia see we chipping down the road, don't dig no scene. We just want Alia for rock and come in. Beat your drum, Mr. Drummer. Drum, Mr. Drummer. Up here, call pork. Up here, I say, to meet me, gut, right here. Beat your drum, Mr. Drummer. Stop your drum, Mr. Drummer. Look how this coronavirus make we have to learn social distancing. Imagine Some people taking this thing for charade. And now we can't even get with annual parade. I real vex your hair. Since I'm looking forward to it every year. How me yearn for city officers in their fancy attire. Cause some of them just look ramful like they're going to retire. Beat your drum, Mr. Drummer.
Stop your drum, Mr. Drummer. Oh, ha. Hi, God bless our nation so we can make it out of this frightening situation. Citizens, we urge all you not to be stupid. Stay home and cool it. No matter how much we warn all you about this corona, some totish people still gallivanting like they have no honor. This deadly disease is one on the rise, so we as Trinidadians must be wise and not otherwise. Please adhere to social distancing and wear a mask, or else you're going to end up in the hospital bed catching all that up here. Jack Spanier, up here, I say, to reach me, old iron, right here. Beat your drum, Mr. Drummer.
Stop your drum, Mr. Drummer. Oh, ha, hi. I want to salute all who serve this country as president. Sir Ellis Clark, Noah Hassan Ali, A.N.R. Robinson, they all serve and they went. Mr. Anthony Carmona presided in his own unique style. Now we have sweet Paula May Weeks, who is going to be there for a while. I used to love to see them take salute in the savannah. In 2020, no horse, dog and arm displayed due to corona. My granny used to always say, tough times don't last, but tough people do. So with God's grace and good governance, we will live to see Auntie and Tanti in Parade 2022. Beat your drum, Mr. Drummer. Stop your drum, Mr. Drummer. Appear good. Appear, I say, to meet me, Jack Spanier, right here. Beat your drum, Mr. Drummer. Stop your drum, Mr. Drummer. Oh, ha, aye. Let us show the world that this is a true rainbow space where every creed and race can find an equal place. And even if some are we, does talk with a little racial overtone. As the good book says, let he who is without sin cast the first stone. So may God bless everybody in a Trinidad and Tobago. We will be back here again in about a year or so. Let we go back to the old time days when other countries used to watch how we and be so amazed. So to this wonderful country, let we raise a toast and we go say hip hip hooray from coast to coast. Beat your drum, Mr. Drummer. Oh ha, oh ha, oh ha, oh ha. Stop your drum, Mr. Drummer. Oh ha, hi. Up here toots calendar. Up here I say. Up here and meet me. Gut. Right here. Beat your drum, Mr. Drummer. Stop your drum, Mr. Drummer. Oh ha, hi. Together we aspire, together we achieve, and we will continue to thrive as a nation, I firmly believe. This country has come from far, so let us continue to work together to raise the bar. We want to wish everybody a happy Independence Day, and we really hope all of you listen attentively to what we had to say. But before we take with the party, there is something we want all you to remember. Sweet T&T. Oh, how we love up we country, sweet T&T. No place in this world we rather be, oh. Sweet T&T. Oh, how we love up we country, sweet T&T. No place in this world we rather be, oh. Stop your drum, Mr. Drummer. Beat your drum, Mr. Drummer.
As we leave such a historic reminder of colonialism, we move back across to Trinidad, where the magnificent Seven has its own place in history.
Carnival 2020 was the last major event to be held here at the Queen's Park Savannah. Dubbed as the world's largest roundabout, the Queen's Park Savannah saw the absence of kite flying in Easter, the Emancipation Village, and the annual Independence Parade due to a pandemic. Formerly a sugar estate, it was acquired by the state in 1817. But, fun fact, the first owners have a private family burial plot on the grounds. The Savannah once gave life to sporting activities such as horse racing and cricket. Today, many fitness enthusiasts jog around its 2.2-mile circumference, while others enjoy sport and other activities in the interior. The grandstand to the south of the Savannah was erected in 1854 and more than a century later still carries that title and is the mecca of cultural expressions. Step out on the western end to enjoy a coconut water and you will experience the wonder of the Magnificent Seven. Constructed between 1902 and 1910, these 7 buildings boast an eclectic architecture. And as you drive or walk along this side of the Savannah, you will encounter Queen's Royal College, fondly called the QRC. Hayes Court, Millefleur, Umbird's House or Rumor, Archbishop's House, Whitehall, and Castle Killarney, formerly Stallmeyer's Castle. All except Rumor is owned by the government of Trinidad and Tobago and has undergone restoration. We return to Queen's Royal College for Nation of Love by Preety.
Had enough. We moving as a nation of love under the sun. Yeah. If I try and tell you, you might not believe me. Every time I on the road, it feels like I'm dreaming. That sensual sound does ring up my hair bells, and you could tell, look and you could tell because no matter the ups, it only keeps us moving along. Chipping feet to the heartbeat of the pulsing sound of the drum. nation of love. Under the sun, every shifting ways, bound to find a place embedded in within. So when we congregate, the sign is clear as dawn. We moving as a nation of love. A nation of love. A nation of love. A nation of love. We move as a nation of love. A nation of love. A nation of love. A nation of love. Yeah.
From QRC to Napa, a teaching academy and performance facility located south of the Savannah. The National Academy for the Performing Arts opened in 2009, with the main auditorium being renamed in February 2011 to the Lord Kitchener Alwyn Roberts Auditorium. Napa, along with Queen's Hall, the National Museum, and the Queen's Park Savannah, form a cultural hub in the capital, key to the promotion of the cultural tourism industry in Trinidad and Tobago. Napa's main performance area features an 1,100-seat acoustically designed performance hall. On the grand stage, we join pianist Joanna Chakari and vocalist Stephanie Nahus as they do a classical rendition of God Bless Our Nation.
God bless our nation of many varied races. May we possess that common love that binds and makes us one. Let it be known around the world that we can boast of unity and take a pride in our liberty. God bless our isles of tropic beauty rare, of flaming Ponciana and shady immortal, the warm and sparkling waters that break upon our shores. Beat out a tune that seems to tell we take a pride in our liberty. God bless our leaders, give them grace to guide, bestow on them thy judgment wise to rule a land aright, to keep the flag of freedom high, that we may boast most lustily and take a pride in our
From the hall to the steps of Napa, from classical to foundation, Rapso as an art form expresses the power of the word through the rhythm of the word. Rapso is a direct descendant of the African griot that survived the Middle Passage, slavery, and colonialism. Now is nation time.
all hands on deck. It's a call to unity. Lord, you're ready. Are you ready? Identify yourself and answer the call. Now you have to prove yourself, you're back against the wall. It's nation time. What time it is? Nation time. I said it's nation time. What time it is? Nation time. I said it's nation time. What time it is? Nation time. Together we aspire, together we achieve. You have to come together if you truly believe it's nation time. What time it is? Nation time. Together we aspire, together we achieve. You have to come together if you truly believe it's nation time. What time it is? Nation time. Forward. Yes. One more time now. See the flag fly high. Stand up and be counted. Lord, you ready? Are you ready? Hear the nation cry. Don't take it for granted. No, you're ready. Are you ready? Sacrifice yourself and move with a pride. Keep up the struggle now, strengthen your stride. It's nation time. What time it is? Nation time. I said it's nation time. What time it is? Nation time. I said it's nation time. What time it is? Nation time. Together we aspire, together we achieve. You have to come together if you truly believe it's nation time. What time it is? Nation time. Together we aspire, together we achieve. You have to come together if you truly believe it's nation time. What time it is? Nation time. Forward. Yes, man. Brother resistance, everybody.
Now is the time. You have to make a commitment. Lord, you ready? Eh?
Are you ready?
We come so far, so let me celebrate the achievements. Lord, you ready? Eh?
Are you ready?
Identify yourself and move with your pride. Keep up your struggle, no strength in your stride. It's nation time. What time it is?
Nation time.
Nation time. What time it is?
Nation time.
Nation time. What time it is?
Nation time.
Together we aspire, together we achieve. We have to come together if we truly believe.
Nation time. What time it is?
Nation time. Together we aspire, together we achieve. We have to come together if we truly believe.
It's nation time.
What time it is?
Nation time. Forward.
Bring the thing back.
Come on, for the land, raise the flag and raise your hand. Come on, for the land, raise the flag and raise your hand. Come on, for the land, raise your flag and raise your hand. Come on, for the land, raise your flag and raise your hand. I said it's nation time. What time it is? He said it's nation time. What time it is? They said it's nation time. What time it is? We said it's nation, 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 nation. Forward.
There he comes by.
One more time now.
There's a holistic experience.
Nation time. What time it is?
Nation time.
I said it's nation time. What time it is?
Nation time.
Nation time. What time it is?
Nation time.
Nation time. What time it is?
Nation time.
Together we aspire, together we achieve. You have to come together if you truly believe it's nation time. What time it is?
Nation time.
Together we aspire, together we achieve. We have to come together if you truly believe it's nation time. What time it is?
Nation time.
Together we
aspire
aspire,
and together we achieve. We have to come together if we truly believe.
It's nation time. What time it is? Nation time.
As we celebrate our 58th year of independence,
we invite you, the people of Trinidad and Tobago, to reflect on all that is ours.
And what independence means to you. For me, independence means a freedom of expression when it comes to music, dance, religious beliefs. What about you?
Well, for me, Sarala, independence really means the opportunity for us to continue making good choices on behalf of Trinidad and Tobago. So on behalf of all of us,
Happy Independence.
Identify yourself and answer the call. Now you have to prove yourself, you're back against the wall. It's nation time. What time it is? Nation time. I said it's nation time. What time it is? Nation time. I said it's nation time. What time it is? Nation time. Together we aspire, together we achieve. You have to come together if you truly believe it's nation time. What time it is? Nation time. Together we aspire, together we achieve. You have to come together if you truly believe it's nation time. What time it is?